Welcome back to another episode of DadDimes. This is our second episode where we go ahead and dive into a nice, beautiful bottle of State 38 straight bourbon whiskey. Once again, I'm DJ, and that's Justin. He's the expert, and I'm the fat alcoholic. Please like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, TikTok, and X. You can download our podcast on anywhere podcasts are, as well as also following our Twitch stream, JB DadDimes, as well as DJ DadDimes. If you want to see some mediocre game players kick some ass sometimes and die sometimes.
Now, to be fair, dying sometimes is not accurate. For me personally.
Dying most times.
Dying most of the time, being carried by the team, but you know what? At least drinking some whiskey, having some good times, hanging with the boys, and just kind of enjoying those off-time banters and fun and decompression of video games. It's really necessary.
It's really the greatest thing ever made, really. And we got a dub today, so you could go to JB DadDimes and see us get that, where there's some explicit language on there, which is pretty good, actually. So, but we did get our dub today.
And so we went in for the dub, yeah. So today, what's the whiskey?
Today we got State 38, and how we came apart from that, State 38 is a distillery here in Golden, Colorado, and I had the pleasure of being the plumber to go out there and help clear some drain lines. It's probably been about 4 or 5 years now, and they gave me a bottle of tequila that I really liked, so I decided, hey, let's go ahead and give this whiskey a whirl and see what it is. I haven't had their whiskey yet, so I think it's going to be pretty good. They're based off their tequila, so.
Well, I'm hoping that the tequila is close to, and we're gonna definitely go into what the State 38 straight bourbon whiskey, 750 milliliters, 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Their whiskey is made from scratch and small batch fermentation, double distilled on the grain for rich flavor, and barreled in new Cooper Select 58.8 gallon barrels with a medium char, which is what we go back to make this a bourbon. This one's not out of Bourbon County, though, so are we lying to ourselves, or is this going to be an actual close to bourbon whiskey?
I can confirm they do make it in small batches. Their warehouse wasn't the biggest. Not sure if they're even there anymore, but it's small batches. So
you got to start somewhere. So State 38's a unique name, and why did they name it State 38?
Quite simply, Colorado is the 38th state in the union of this glorious country we call America, so they named it after Colorado, but instead of saying Colorado, State 38.
Named after Colorado, the 38th state, spirits are designed for drinkers who dare to pursue their passions, and it says on the bottle, and which we will do, join us on the journey. So let's go ahead and pop that cork. Alrighty, let's get that pour going. Oh yeah.
Get that nice pour. See what it smells like. Ooh. Nice hefty pour right there.
It sounded like it. Is that 1 finger, 2 fingers, 4 fingers?
It's about a finger and a half. I do got large fingers though.
Alrighty, so right out of the bottle, State 38, Golden, Colorado.
So once again, we're going to try it neat first, and then we'll add some ice to it, see what the flavor changes to. But right now I'm looking at a nice, I would say, kind of a honey color. It's got a good smell.
It's a lighter caramel. Caramel. Yeah, see, we got that wrong. Or did we? Let's try it. Definitely does not burn nearly as much as the last bourbon. It is aged, but it does not say for how long. And I will tell you, you can have distinct notes that are different from the Calumet.
Oh, yeah.
There are some vanillas. You can taste the oak. What else?
I mean, to me, it tastes good. I don't really.
It just tastes like whiskey.
Tastes like heaven in a jar almost.
Yeah, you can taste the grain. It's a little bit harsher.
Yeah,
than Calumet.
Definitely got to that harshness. Maybe the ice will tone it down.
We'll give it some love and see where it takes us.
You know, I did pick this bottle up at Applewood, or what is it called? Applejack's Liquors here in Thornton.
Applejack's, okay, Thornton, Colorado.
Price point is right around $40, $45. So it's not super expensive.
Okay.
It doesn't really have a terrible aftertaste. Just the harshness kind of gets you on when you first take it in, but it's got a good flavor to it for sure. Not sure about I guess I could taste the oakiness to it.
A little bit, yeah.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
And I will tell you, it's good. It needs a little bit more time to mellow.
Yeah.
I mean, you can taste this a little bit sharp, yeah. But State 38 actually is a pretty good whiskey. It tastes good. It's doing the job which it needs to do on a let's see, we started at 28 degrees today, so it's going to warm us up. It'll be.
I mean, it's already warmed up to about 34 right now, so
we're moving on up.
Yeah, we're swimming weather almost.
Well, I mean, we can go do a plunge if you want. We have the old cold plunge. So you know, I will tell you, I like it. I will put it in the collection. We'll add some ice to it here in a little bit, cool it down, give it a little bit of extra water in there to release some of those aromas, release some of those extra flavors in the oils, and we'll see if we can change the palate a little bit. But because it is Whiskey Wednesday and we are at State 38 Distillery enjoying some bourbon, what has gone on this week that has made the DadDimes list?
Oh, well, there's a few things. One thing, I was driving one day, or I guess it was Monday, and just kind of came. I don't quite understand what a knickerbocker is. So, you know, I've heard the New York Knicks, the New York Knickerbockers, and I honestly have no idea what a New York Knickerbocker is. So I'm just curious to see what your thoughts are, and what the hell is a fucking knickerbocker? You got to be careful how you say it.
Knickerbocker.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Knickerbocker. Okay. So there's a few things. You have the New York Knicks. Yes, we have the Knickerbocker, how they would proclaim themselves as being from Manhattan. They're from New York. Usually it's pre-1890.
Okay.
However, from a DadDimes perspective, the actual knickers for the Knickerbocker is a golf trouser, an early golf trouser, I could speak, early 20th century, and it would be those baggy-esque pants.
And I love those.
Which you have to love.
I'm be honest, I'm not going to say what they're called out loud in front of people just because it's too close. But, I mean, I was thinking next summer we could go get matching knickers, and, you know, we could go through and play around the golf and look official, you know? I think that would be great.
I'm all about it. I'm in.
So, that was one of my questions I was pondering this week, and I didn't look it up just because I knew you're the guy for the answers. So
I don't always know the answers. I know where to find the answers, and that's where we're fighting for the Knickerbockers. You can be a Knicks fan for the New York, or you can just be one of the coolest pants ever designed to go out and hit 18 holes while drinking some State 38. Now, something that we should note is this is not a sponsored podcast.
No.
No, it is not. State 38 has not provided this bottle of bourbon. They have provided you with tequila prior to the creation of the podcast. But they are, at this point, 2023, as we're ending and rounding out the year, not promoting this podcast. This is a very raw review of their products. So hopefully, in the future, we can get more State 38 products as a sponsor, and we can go from there. But just to make that perfectly clear, we do bring it up, and we are very transparent about what's being provided and what we're trying to get done here.
Oh yeah, and I seen at Applejack's over there, which is also not a sponsor, but seen at Applejack's they had several different bottles of. They had a rye whiskey, they had another whiskey. I didn't see what that was, but they got several different things. And then looking at their website, they got many different options for whatever your flavor palette is. Vodkas, tequilas, gins,
absinthe.
I mean, so whatever your poison is, you could go ahead and go to State 38 and pick it. I can tell you their tequila was pretty good, and so far I'm liking the whiskey as well.
I'm not a gin fan. I can't tell you about gin. It's just I can never bring that into my my product line of things I've enjoyed. But
your repertoire.
I never had a palate for it.
I believe that's how the Louisianans say it. Repertoire.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've never had that opportunity. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll do a podcast from Louisiana next.
Ooh.
Get some Louisiana bourbons in.
What's the big parade in New Orleans? Mardi Gras.
We
go to Mardi Gras.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get some bourbon beats.
I'll flash my tits. I'll get some beats.
Do everything
I got a nice C cup going on right now, so I mean, throw those puppies out and get a handful of beads, for people who like hairy nipples, at least, I guess. Whatever.
Hey, there's a fetish for everyone.
Yeah, I know. Feet finders?
Feet finders.
Dude, I still gotta throw my feet on feet finders. I got some pretty feet.
You have some feet for feet finders. I have some feet for podcasting.
For Hobbitland.
For things that you shouldn't probably see. It's like the face for radio.
You could have been Bilbo Baggins' foot extra. Is what you could
I'm going to be, because they're going to be doing the next trilogy. I haven't pitched it to them yet, but maybe. The ring got spit out of the fire, and old Hobbit feet JB over here needs to go to the...
Well, since the fire ate it, it probably got shit out.
Ooh. See, you would know all about the pipelines.
I am a plumber by trade, and I always, when I send emails, I put as the GPA, DJ Gandy GPA, greatest plumber alive, so... That's what I live by.
Well, that's what you live by, and that is your brand. And
that's what I got to tell myself to wake up every day to go to fucking work, man. I haven't hit the Powerball yet. I'm waiting so I could just live stream all day.
Now, to be honest, you have hit the jackpot, because really, we're doing this on a Wednesday, drinking bourbon, doing our reviews, and we play some games every once in a while.
It'd be nice to get the AT-AT in the backyard, though. Right.
Oh, we're going to talk about the podcast studio moving forward. Not tonight, because that's something that you have to really subscribe for.
That's true.
We're talking AT Studios. We just need to get some permission signed off by the community board, which we'll see what happens.
We know a couple guys. Absolutely.
So, talking about State 38. You have your favorite rocks glass. We're pouring, we're drinking, we're laid back tonight, and we just got to kind of hang out. And we really hope that those that are listening can do the same. Hang out with your buddies, go have some cave time, share some stories, savor the finer things in life. Because you know what? As this keeps going down, I'm down to about half a finger of the straight bourbon. It is getting a little bit better.
Now I'm almost done with mine, and it's the harshness is not there. The flavor's great. So once you get about 3 or 4 swigs in, the harshness goes away, and then you just got some pretty good flavor coming from it.
It's because your tongue goes numb.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like whiskey. Your tongue goes numb.
the deeper the tongue goes, the...
Hey, my wife's not here, huh?
Hey, dad jokes on DadDimes.
Yeah, that's a good one. So what about the, you were telling me about some, we experienced it at Dutch Bros, and then you've been experiencing it throughout this week. Let us know what's going on there.
Yeah, what is going on with the world where you're going to go off to whatever establishment that you have to provide some kind of financial transaction for, and now we're starting to be asked questions, and this is one of the favorite ones that I am slowly but surely catching on to. We go through Dutch Bros, which is a coffee shop for those that don't know, and we make our order, me and Mr. DJ DadDimes himself, and the barista. Is that the term for
barista?
Barista, okay. Thank you for your order. We really appreciate it. Go ahead and put your insert card here. Okay, hand you a tablet, and they say something like, all you got to do is answer a question on the screen, and we'll get you going.
There's one question that's going to be on there for you. If you could please answer it for us. However you want. You can answer it whatever way you want. But please answer it, and then just hand us it back when you're done.
Yeah, it's basically saying, if you answer it wrong, we're going to not have such an enjoyable coffee experience. But if you answer it right, man, we're going to enjoy having this back and forth conversation while we're waiting to prepare you this most amazing cup of joe that you will ever have. And what is that question?
How much tip you want to leave? What are you willing to give me? Is basically what they're saying.
To get your product, yeah. And I just don't remember tipping being drug deals. It's like, hey man, I'm just going to go ahead and hand you over this thing. Go ahead and push a button, whatever really you want to. And, just hand it back to me and we should be good to go here. I'm going to get you your stuff. So,
I got the shit, man. It's some good shit. I just need a little something for you. Answer this question, please, man.
If you just answer this question, we're gonna make sure that we're gonna treat you real nice unless you answer it wrong, and then you're dead to me.
We're gonna have fucking Roscoe back here spit a loogie in your drink because you said no tip.
I mean, it just feels as though we're coming into that world. So we've seen this at Dutch Bros before. We've kind of become accustomed to it. Again, not sponsored by. Enjoy the coffee. Love the coffee.
911.
911's where it's at.
That's my shit.
However, went to a sandwich place. Used to have a sponsor. Doesn't have a sponsor anymore. You know what happened there.
Bubway.
There might be a Kansas City player that is now like a spokesman. I don't even know who they are, but it's the same thing. So we're going through, get the old sandwich made. Ringing you out, you go to pay, and they say, oh, whoa, before you put your card in, the thing's going to ask you a question. Oh, like, are you a member?
Are you a Subway Platinum member?
Are you happy with your experience here at Subway? No. What kind of tip do you want to give the guy that just made your sub? I'm all about tipping, and I do believe that there should be tips for service, and I think that's how you help the industry grow. But don't make it a drug deal.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you this question thing over here. Let's not talk about what the question says. I just need you to answer it. Then you can pay, and then we're gonna be going on our way. I'm gonna throw this out there. I can't see what you answer on that question, or can I?
Oh, I'm sure they could. And don't be surprised. You heard it here first on DadDimes. Is fucking next time you go check out King Supers or Walmart and you go through the self checkout, they're gonna be like, "We have a question for you," and it's gonna ask for a tip on there. Even though you gotta scan your own shit, bag your own groceries, they're gonna ask for a tip. I'm sure it's coming, man.
If you're not tipping the self checkout kiosk, really, I mean, your system's probably going to shut down. It's going to communicate with artificial intelligence. If you're driving an electric car, it's going to be like, ha, this cheap guy's not going anywhere today.
You're going to be randomly selected as you walk out to get your bags checked. I'm that guy.
Which goes into a different story that every time I personally walk out of Walmart, it's like waving to the old guy saying, you know what, I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you too. Have a nice day. I start going to Walmart with the old DJ over here and stopped every single time.
It's random.
It's not profiling. They keep telling us that.
It's not profiling, so I always get stopped because I'm a little... I mean, and I'm even a light tan, I guess. I'm not even that dark anymore. But I always get stopped. My son never gets stopped, and he's a white kid. And then his friend, who happens to be black, gets stopped all the time too. So the random selection really has pointed out our colors, I guess.
It's a little awkward. I mean, it is actually pretty awkward when all of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, John, good to see you again. Oh, well, we got to stop you. Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, what's the only thing that changed?
Exactly. And I actually have a cousin that works for Walmart, and he says those fucking people they only stop certain races, and which is I've been going next time I go to Walmart, and I've been planning this several times. I'm just going to keep walking, but they haven't stopped me in like the last 3 times I went. So
because they know you're on a mission.
They know. They see it in my eyes, and they're like, "Have a good day."
That's not true. What really happened was I went to their corporate office and said, "Listen, he's with me."
If you look at his fishing card, he has a privilege number now, which is pretty sweet. I was excited when I got that privilege. I think I texted you right away and said, I now have a privilege number.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Department of Wildlife.
Thank you. Yeah.
Can
not discriminating.
Well, bringing it back to State 38, because it is that time to add a little bit of ice.
A little ice and chill.
And a little bit more pour. Oh, looks delicious. Tell the dishes.
Which reminds me, a helpful tip for gentlemen out there, if you're married, one thing that women love is when you rhyme. And this is what I've heard on the internet, so it has to be true, but ladies love when you rhyme. So when your wife's giving you some trouble, you say, "Hey, less bitch and more kitchen." They immediately stop and they start doing dishes, from what I hear. I haven't tried it yet, but let's see how it tastes.
And I'm going to say not all comments represent the channel.
I'm just telling you what I've seen on the internet, and I think the internet's rarely wrong, if I'm not mistaken.
If you saw it on the internet, it must be true, unless you saw it on TikTok or...
Bonjour.
Bonjour. On our next episode, DJ's going to be talking about the greatest couch to sleep on.
Love sack. I already know it.
That changes the flavor.
It does.
A little bit of ice.
Wow.
Yeah.
It makes the harshness almost disappear, right?
Fades away.
Maybe that's the glass before that made it fade away, but the harshness is no longer there. It's just got a really good flavor profile now.
On the rocks. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where it's at. So,
yeah,
bravo. State 38 Distilling. I'll throw this out there. Straight, it takes a little bit getting used to. On the rocks, delicious.
Yeah, about four swigs into the when it's neat with no ice. After about 4 swigs, you get like a real sweetness from it, is what I found. This one right here is just...
Pulls out the vanillas.
Yeah. This one's just delicious. You could tell them about the notes and stuff. I'm just... I'm not used to vanillas and oaks, and... I think it does kind of take... With the ice, it kind of takes away that oakiness, though, huh?
It does dilute that a little bit, yeah. But again, depending on how long they're actually aging this,
yeah.
I mean, everything you get for the caramel color, that oak taste, the charred taste is all about surface area. So, after you distill spirits, it is clear, very clear spirit. You place in the white American oak barrel, medium char, and then as it is rotating in the actual barrel itself, as it's breathing with the staves, you start to get that caramel color and that taste. So The longer it's in there, the more mellow it'll get, the crisper taste you'll actually get out of it. So it and the vanillas that you're actually pulling from the wood itself. So the longer, the better. The downside is, it does take time.
The longer, the more expensive.
The longer, the more expensive. On the last one, we're talking about the Calumet 16. That's 16 years that it takes for it to sit in a barrel for it to mature to the taste that it is. And, that's a long time for something to sit to not make money.
That's true.
That's just the way it is. So, State 38 Distilling was founded in April 2013 as the homage to Colorado as a 38th state. It says that much like the pioneers who came to Colorado in the late 1800s after the discovery of gold, then uncover other opportunities such as rich minerals, metals, mountain streams, outdoor adventures, railroads, lines, and much more, so did the owners of State 38. So, understanding that it was founded in April 2013, we're looking at a maximum from this specific distillery of 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there are other distilleries out there. I'm not making claims of this distillery by any means that will actually purchase other alcohol from various distilleries that have longer aged products, and then they will bottle it in their own systems. And we see that with other companies where it's bottled in the state of Colorado and branded as a Colorado whiskey. However, it did come from another state which matured it and actually distilled it. So okay. Something to be aware of.
These guys, from what I've seen in their distillery, they go through the whole process. One day they're stilling whiskey, next day they're stilling, tequilas or whatever. I happened to be there on a tequila day, which it was actually quite pleasant smell. Keep in mind I was there 5 years ago.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that they do all their own stuff. And I forget I was dealing with, I think, a worker and possibly the owner. Good guys from what I can remember, but and I could vouch for them. Their whiskey's their whiskey. At least their tequila was their tequila, so I'm assuming their whiskey's their whiskey. But
their tequila was their tequila until it became your tequila.
And then I pissed it away because I drank it all.
It became the city's tequila.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's probably cycling back through the system, so it's your drinking water now.
More than likely, it's not your drinking water. It's downstream's drinking water.
City of Thornton's problem, not mine.
I don't think it's Thornton anymore. It probably went to Pueblo, and then more than likely it went down to New Mexico. And
I'll probably stop by Commerce City first.
Oh, how it goes.
Yep.
Well, I will tell you, I am excited that we were able to go with the State 38, and I am looking forward to our next Whiskey Wednesday. We're always looking for recommendations, so please follow us on all the socials. And hey, if you say there is one specific bourbon out there that you want to hear about, or the one that you just absolutely love, you want us to try to find a bottle and do a review on the podcast, please add it to any of the socials saying, hey, this is the next one you should do.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Recommendations are always welcome. Branched out with State 38 just because I was familiar with them. Thought, hey, I've never tried this, let's do this. But as a whiskey guy myself, and I know you're the same, we always like to go buy new, different bottles of whiskey. And so if you make the recommendation and it's a whiskey that's not too common, if you could just tell us, if you have a hunch on where you could grab it from as well, that would also be helpful, because I know some whiskeys are a little bit harder to get, and they're not, you can't find them up north, but you could go down south and they have 10 of them. So recommendations plus where you think you can find them, and we'll be more than happy to review it for you.
So, as we did on the first one, and hopefully we're going to continue, what would you rate this? And what scale are we going to be rating as? Because there's been a little back and forth on what the scale should be. So what should the scale be? And on that scale, what would you rate State 38?
I like our scale. the 1 through 5. I would say neat. Neat, I would give it probably a 3.
Okay.
It's got a real harshness to it. I'm fond of ice in my whiskey. I've always been an on the rocks kind of drinker. But I think with that being said, once you add ice to it, that really kicks it up to probably like a 3.8. My opinion.
Okay. So I was going to say neat, it's about a 3.2.
Okay.
Honestly, I like the flavor. I like what was coming out of it. Adding a little bit of ice, and adding in a different layer to be able to pull out the other flavor profile. I think we're leaning more towards that 4.0, 4 out of 5. So I think that it just has a great niche for a Colorado whiskey.
Oh yeah,
it tastes good.
Yep,
and it made for a very enjoyable DadDimes.
Absolutely, and this one I definitely would. I mean, this will probably be in my rotation to make sure I pick up every. I kind of rotate through different whiskeys as well. I got my everyday drinkers, and this one's probably going to go into that everyday drinker category to where, I'll get this whiskey one time and then a few weeks later I'll get a different one and kind of just keep it on the rotation. It's definitely good.
I mean, to be fair, every week you're getting a new whiskey now. It's kind of just part of the show.
I mean, that's true.
So would you say that State 38 will gain a spot on the DadDimes bourbon shelf?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I would drink this. This is the only whiskey I could drink. I would drink it every day. But there's options.
You never know. We're getting to that point. But right now we're sticking to Wednesdays.
This one, I think it's, we got to figure out what we're going to name it to where it's a good whiskey that we're going to buy again.
Ooh.
But it's going to be, something along pop the cork whiskey.
Yeah.
To where we could pop it.
We can definitely, definitely make sure that we're popping that whiskey.
Absolutely. Definitely a good whiskey. I would definitely get it again for sure.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining us here on DadDimes. Don't forget to subscribe and let the DadDimes crew be your companions on your spirited journey. Cheers to good times, good friends, and great bourbon.